FragWatch here. FragWatch here. Today we're going to be going over a comparison of 3 Zowie pads. I won't say anything yet. I'll just get into it. This is the Zowie GSR3. Got some minerals on it from my water video. Apologies. It plays pretty fast. It's very firm. I mean, it's got some give. It's thin. I think it's 3 millimeters. Stitching's edge recessed. It's very smooth. For my final review of it, I'm going to break it in. I'll do an initial impressions of this directly following this video. So this is going to be brief. I'm going to keep it pretty straightforward. Let's get the other pads out here. Introduce them. Give them a little introduction. Next up is the GSR SE. It's in the red colorway. Comes in black too. Very smooth, very fine stitching. Let's get the magnifying glass out for the next step. Next up is the brand new and my favorite of the 3 by far, GTR. Much softer, much more plush. You can hear that. I hate these things. Hate them. This one, by the way, no edge stitching. Come on. It's 2025. Fuck are you doing? Okay. Nice and soft. This is the softest. That's firm. The SR3 is second softest. SE is very firm. Here's the backings. Looks like I think they're all the same. This one feels more firm on the bottom though. The GSR3 feels more firm overall. This adhered to the desk the best. I'll show that in just a second. This one second, and this the SE third. I am concerned about the durability. Let's go to that. I think the SR3 is going to be the most durable, followed by the GTR, followed by the SE. Okay, let's see if I can get these aligned here. So they each fit a mouse pad, and I have to wear this. It's kind of an apron. I hate bending mouse pads. Okay, see if the magnifying glass will cooperate. Still no micro SD card. Probably going to just have to go to Best Buy and buy one. Very tight weave. It's a cross stitch. Not braided. Very tight. Very, very tight. Porous. Large fibers. A lot of nylon in there. Or reflective strength material. Tight fiber. Tight weave. It looks like it's cross stitched with one layer. The end of the over under is a little different. It looks like it hooks up and over, and that's the stitching, which would that's a reason why it's more rough. Is there's little humps every 100th of a millimeter or whatever that measurement is, probably a 20th of a millimeter. There's another hump from just the type of stitching. This does not have that. It's just a cross stitch. I don't know if you guys can see that. So this part is mainly for me. You can see that for sure. You can see that. This is very similar to this, but much more porous. This also, oddly enough, and this is the softest But it also, man, when you press into it, it is rough. You can hear it. Let me get the mic down there so you guys can hear that. Let me see if I can arc this over so we can get kind of objective here. Get this in the middle. You hear how much louder that is. This has a lot more rigidity in the actual fabric, but the backing is much softer. So the fabric is going to be more rigid and have more structural integrity to it, which means breaking it in isn't going to do all too much. That's the typical way that that's going to go. Especially, it's already pretty porous. It's also, porousness is really uneven on this, which is kind of weird. I don't know. Yeah, stitching's definitely very similar on all of them. The threading, this is just chain weave. This is like chains, and then underneath they'll have loop unders where the loop goes under. It'll have something that goes here. So the chains are going this way, and on the loop unders there'll be structural ones, and they'll be held by adhesive to the pad. If you have a cheap pad, cut it. Check it out. Or if you have a pad you don't use or that you spilled stuff on or whatever, really, I cut it, check it out. Take your stuff apart when you're done with it if you're not going to sell it. See how it works, learn. Anyways, magnifying glass away. Can't wait till I have the SD card. So with my new format, I'll be taking pictures of these prior to shooting. That way I can just click a button. They'll pop up on the screen for you guys. Little production value upgrade. I'm trying to do that slowly. The reason I don't like really polish my stuff or have an intro, I like it to be authentic, raw, quick. I'd rather focus on actual reviews and testing things than the production value of my videos. Like, I think they're good enough. If you want the raw specs, go to the manufacturer website or the company's website. Anyways, let's get some slide tests on here. What mouse should we use? Let's go. Let's start out with fingertip. Yeah. Very smooth. Almost no friction. This has a little bit more friction. It feels bumpier. Here's one thing I hated. This came flat packed. The GTR comes flat packed. Awesome. These came so tightly rolled up that you can still see they are bending in the corners. I had these under heavy encyclopedias over the whole surface, and on the corners 2 or 3 stacked high on each of these. On my dining table, which is perfectly flat. And they did not unbend. I counter rolled them twice a day for 3 days. Tightly counter rolled. They're still flat pack your stuff. If you're gonna, charge us $30, you can afford a 50-cent box and the packaging requirements for that. Please, you can afford to stitch this on. It's the same cost. Fix it. Okay, I digress. Sorry, Zowie. You guys are good company. BenQ by Zowie. Ben Q. What am I supposed to call you? I don't even know. Okay. Soft, nice. Feels velvety. A lot of give. I feel like I can stop easier on this. This is definitely feels more premium. Let's get a very aggressive, weight heavy claw on here. And this is not a great test since I have them stacked. I'm trying to get through this quick, save you guys time. Let's do it with a Stormbreaker. Yeah, I can apply a lot of pressure. This is a pretty significant amount of force. Much smoother. Force added, this is much smoother than this SR3. This is much slower, just because of the backing. The material, too. That feels good. That feels good. That feels like shit. My arm's extended. Let me pull that. Yeah, it doesn't feel as good. Okay. On my initial impressions, a little preview. This isn't bad. Not my favorite, especially at its price point. These two I'm not fans of, initial impressions wise. I'm going to put the hours in for review, but it's very difficult. Putting 60 hours of time between the three of these so I can review them is to be honest, it's stressing me out right now because I fucking do not like these that much. And I just played on the Masashi Void 2, which is going to be one of my mousepads of the year for 2024. So switching from like several pretty good pads in a row, one awesome pad, to these, like I'm having to pull out the reference pad every 3 hours just to keep my sanity. These are the Zowie pads. Where's my mouse? Let's end this one. I'll do initial impressions, long form, immediately following this, okay? Thanks, guys. I'm pretty close to review time on the TR, too. And it's the best of the three. It's also the most expensive. It's got the softest backing. Came flat packed. By God, that's a huge thing for me. Let's sing. Shall we sing? Oh, Zowie, what the fuck are you thinking? Please don't put tags on your mouse pads. But when you don't, put edge stitching because the durability sucks. Maybe. I haven't tested it, but it's kind of uncomfortable to the touch. Yeah. All right. FragWatch out. Thanks. Zowie, I think you're a great company. Let's be very straightforward about that. Esports owes a lot to you. Period. Period. Thanks, guys. Catch you guys in the next one.